Good afternoon, everyone. It is February 26th, 2023. This is just a 1 hour chart of the ES. And briefly, before we get into what we saw this week and what I'm looking for next week, we can go over what's happening on this higher time frame. Once again, we have that accumulation in December, the markup in January, distributed in February with lower highs every week, and then this waterfall stage. I had written at the end of January that I was looking for a move below 40.30 to give us a flush to 39.15. We are getting very close. We're about 30 points away. I got about a couple more full sessions to see that happen. Additionally, January was quite a tight range, under 300 points. I believe it was 295 points during January. And thus far, I think the range is about 260 points, from 42.08 half down to 39.47.50. Yeah, 261 points. So to me, the range is still quite narrow. It's quite a tight range, and I'd be looking for something wider, just because typically a monthly range is more like I don't know, 400 points or so. So usually when you get this contraction, you would look for an expansion shortly thereafter. So what I'm looking for is still that continued move into the pivot. Now, last week, if this shows up, there we go. This is what I had last week. What I was looking for was, I believe that we were still having our distribution and that I was heavily short biased until I move over 41.60. Miswrote that on Twitter, meant 41.60, not 40.60. And I mistimed the sell. I was looking for more so Thursday to get this nice flush. However, it happened during, I think, the holiday session. We gapped down on Tuesday. We closed that gap off of the week prior's low around 40.50-ish, and then continued selling off, getting below 40.30s, which was critical resistance afterwards, and then flushed down to that 39.68-ish area, and we were unable to get into that same 39.15. That is this higher time frame pivot. So let me just glance at my notes here for last week. Yeah, we started with a gap down, which became the weekly high. Couldn't get back over 40.30s. Important to also note that 40.30s is our year-to-date VWAP. And then Friday, once again, we had a gap down. We tried to hold this weekly low over here from back in January, or sorry, yeah, we tried to hold this weekly low on this Friday session, although it's hard to see on this 2 hour chart. And instead, we had a lot of churn around 39.50. Didn't really have that on my charts. I think some of the zero DTE guys were pointing at some gamma stuff, but whatever. And then we ended up closing right in this zone here around 39.75. Now, what am I looking for the coming week? Let's pull this up. A lot of news this week, every day. Monday, durable goods pre-market, pending homes at 10 o'clock. I think we also have some Fed guy talking at 10:30. Tuesday, consumer confidence at 10 o'clock. Wednesday, ISM, and I think also Richmond manufacturing. Thursday, unemployment pre-market, and 10 o'clock ISM again. We do have Fed talk quite a bit. Yeah, Monday 10:30, Tuesday 2:30, Wednesday nobody, Thursday Waller at 4 p.m. So that'll be at the close, no big deal. And then Friday also 11 o'clock. So we got quite a bit of Fed head talking. Wouldn't be surprised if we have some choppier moments as we await whatever they're going to talk about. So that's just something to be aware of. So how am I looking at this in terms of actually where the biases are and what I'm looking for exactly? So this is a 4 hour chart, just because I want to keep in all these ranges in mind, kind of this balance here from December and January, this second sort of balance, and then of course this in between area, which marks our February balance over here. Now, with 40.30s being such an area of critical resistance and sort of marking the lows of this distribution area from January and February, to me, if you get above this 40.30-ish area, above yearly VWAP, above the January point of control, you're looking for a cleanup to 4100. We do still have that open gap up to about 40.96 or 98, whatever it is. I think you end up cleaning up this holiday and pre-market overnight sort of action. Clean up this sell, close that gap around 4100. Monthly VWAP is also around there, and then maybe, which I'm doubtful of, but maybe You get a move back into the February distributive point of control around 41.23-ish, or perhaps that weekly pocket 41.44-ish. However, I really doubt it. I think 4100 would cap our upside at the most, and in general, I'm doubtful of this scenario occurring. I think really what we're going to have is possibly a move back into either the weekly halfback around 4001, the RTH POC around 4006, maybe the full external trading hours, point of control around 15 quarter. So maybe you get into somewhere around the bottom of this gray area. However, I'm mostly looking for and I just want to extend this down to 15 quarter. There we go. Maybe you get to move back into this pivot area. However, again, going back to what I said earlier, I'm looking for that expansion of the monthly range. And to me, that means getting into that position that was built around 39.15. I think the weekly POC is actually 39.18 to be precise. January's value area low, 39.17 3/4. The second half of the year from 2022, that halfback at 14 3/4. So that 14 to 18 number, that this area here, it's of importance. And also where we had that accumulation. So again, that position being built before the ramp. So what I'm looking for this week is some sort of early sell. We only have a couple more days left in February, so what I'm looking for is kind of an early move into the lows, likely catching a bid somewhere in here, cleaning up somewhere to 40-30-ish, and then we can see what happens from there. I'm not too sure if we get that full sell-off, which I've been waiting for, down into the lows of this December and January balance around 38.30-ish. So instead, what I'm going to be looking for is largely just that move into 39.15 and then kind of clean up this 39.15 to 4100 area. So that's what I'll be looking for this week. I think that's all I have for you guys. Any updates to this will be posted to Twitter throughout the week per usual. But for now, once again, looking mostly for that sell into 39.15 before getting a move back into 40-30s or higher. So hope that helps. Again, updates to this posted Twitter throughout the week, whatever. Have a great weekend and a safe Globex tonight.